How precise do you need to be when doing Qigong exercises to get the benefit? That's what we're going to be talking about in this episode of Qi Life. So there are lots of little details sometimes given in the instructions for a Qigong exercise. They could be details like, do you have your thumb outside your fist or inside your fist? Do you hold your hand like this or like this? Do you have your eyes wide open, naturally open, partially open, or even shut? Do you breathe in and out through your nose, in through your nose, out through your mouth, or in some other way? They can be bigger things relating to your body. For example, do you stand in a high stance? Do you go into a horse stance? When you're in that horse stance, can your feet point out, or should your feet point to the front? They can be tiny, tiny, tiny little things like, do you have your tongue relaxed and natural, pushed up against your front teeth, or touching the roof of your mouth? That's a little harder one for you to see in the video. So lots and lots of little details. As you become more advanced, you might find even more other details. Things to do with your mind and what you focus on during a practice. Does it matter if you focus on it being, for example, maybe on the color yellow or on the color blue while you do the exercise? Lots of details, and for a beginner often this can become confusing because sometimes there's so many details it's difficult to remember and understand them all and do them all at the same time. And sometimes this can be off-putting, and it's common for beginners to be quite worried, wow, what if I don't do it exactly right? Well, as a summary, what I like to tell people is, if you generally do the movement right, you're going to generally get the benefit. You can think of it a little bit as a case of good, better, best, or even better than best, I don't know. In that if you have some of the details there, you're going to get the benefit of those. If you don't quite have all of those details there, that's okay. You're still going to get the benefit of the other parts of the exercise that you're doing. And for a beginner, often the main thing really is you're just simply wanting to get your energy flowing. This is a start. You're wanting to get your energy flowing, and you're wanting to start to develop some awareness of your energy as part of that as well. So even if you're only sort of half doing the exercise correctly, you're going to be achieving that benefit. And then as you become aware of your own energy, some of the other changes are going to make more sense to you. Some of the other details are going to make more sense to you because you're going to be able to feel what happens with them. Again, as a beginner, all these fine little things, you have to just memorize, oh, I have to do this, 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 and this, and you don't necessarily feel the difference that they're making. Once you can start to feel the flow of energy in your body, you can make small changes and you can feel the difference straight away, and then you have a feedback mechanism. You don't just have to remember it, you know, when I do this, I can feel it differently as well. So this brings me to another point about all these little details and precision in Qigong practice. Because some of those details are not essential to the key benefit of an exercise. There are some parts that are a bit more optional, and sometimes some teachers will tell you these things as options. Others will say you have to do it this way, and you have to do this, 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 and this, and this, and you have to do it exactly this way. Others will give you the general part of the exercise that is generally what the exercise is about, but then say, and you also have to do these other things, like there's no option in it. I think it's helpful to think of this a little bit like cooking, right? I wrote a blog piece about this quite a while ago. I think I'll put a link to this in the description below. and it was about how many ways can you make a chocolate cake. All too often, like, lots of ways, right? Tons of ways. Is one way right and another way wrong? Well, it could be wrong if it makes you sick or something like that. But within the broad universe of chocolate cakes, there are thousands or tens of thousands or maybe even more ways that you can make a chocolate cake. And sometimes people want it to be more moist, sometimes more dry, you know, sometimes more chocolatey and sometimes a bit milder. There's lots and lots of different things. Someone might want it to be gluten-free, and others might want it to, you know, just have regular flour. So many ways you can change that recipe and it's still a chocolate cake. But there will be different preferences within that, or just different habits of how people do it, and it'll be different from each other, but still a chocolate cake, and hopefully still really good to eat. And so some of these little details are ways of actually adjusting for preference or to someone's specific preference or desire for the exercise, rather than key or essential to the exercise as a whole. So one example for this is breathing, and whether you breathe through the nose and through the mouth. Breathing in and out through the nose should be our default most of the time, and this is the most relaxing way to breathe in general. So if you're wanting the energy of your exercise to be more relaxed, then you're going to breathe in and out through your nose. If you're wanting the exercise to have a bit more energy to it, then you breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. This small change brings a little bit more specifically of yang energy into the movement and into the energy that it will stimulate in your body. If you're interested as to why that is, the Release the Power of Your Breath course on longwhitecloudqigong.com, it's all about breathing and details relating to that, and you can understand a whole lot of how we can change different aspects of our breath. So this is something that we can change according to our preferences and according to our needs with an exercise. There's lots of other things as well. For example, often exercises are done standing, right? And for various reasons that may not be beneficial for some people. Sometimes they may not be able to. Often you can do the exercise sitting and it will have almost the same benefit. Occasionally it's actually even more beneficial doing it sitting than standing. This is particularly the case, not always, again, because there's lots of little details to that, not always, but this is particularly the case often for exercises in the horse stance. Maybe I'll make a different blog about why that is, but some of the benefits of being in the horse stance for exercises using your upper body, you actually get, you know, just as well or better simply sitting down. So again, how precise do we need to be when we're doing our Qigong exercises? I think the key to this is do the best you can, right? You're almost never going to go wrong just doing the best you can and making sensible modifications if you need to. Try to develop an understanding and awareness of your own energy, because this is going to guide you and help you to know what is happening and what different movements, different changes to an exercise do within you. This is the way I teach all of the Long White Cloud Qigong courses, the different practices that we teach, is I aim to hopefully teach students to feel what the exercises are doing to their energy. Feel how changing things in different ways changes what it does to the energy, because then you can be your own best guide. You can then adapt things when you need to for yourself or for other people to help them to get the benefits. Now, none of this is to say that the details don't matter, right? If you're wanting a very specific result, the more precise you can be, the more likely you are to get that result, right? But just trying to remember all those details and do them may not get you the result, because just remembering them, you might not be doing them quite right. You're going to do them much better if you can feel what the details are doing and changing within you, and then you'll be able to ensure that you're putting them together in the right way to get the benefit that you need. So as a beginner, if you generally do the exercise, you'll generally get the benefit. Then as you develop your awareness, you'll be able to feel the difference that small details make. Then finally, you'll be able to understand the role that different details are playing in different exercises and adjust and adapt as you need to in your own practice or when you're helping others. So all this leads on to another topic which I'm going to put in a different vlog, and that is, I think I'll give maybe an example or two of how some small changes actually make quite a big difference to the overall effect of an exercise. So look out for that one soon. I hope you've enjoyed this vlog. Might have rambled a bit in this one, but hopefully there's some useful things to think about, to understand, that you can apply to your practice from it. If you have liked it, please like, comment, subscribe, share it with other people, all those sorts of things. I am hoping to reach lots of people with this vlog to help them to get more benefit from their Qigong. Alright, I look forward to seeing you in the next one.